So this is Fox News today. They're saying rock versus woke. And the discussion you're going to see on social media and otherwise is, did you watch the halftime show at the Super Bowl? And already people are coming out publicly saying, I'm not going to watch the halftime show. I am going to watch the halftime show. And this is Donald Trump's America. Like, he makes the Super Bowl a divisive thing, whether or not you're going to watch the halftime show. It's pretty ridiculous, right? And so Fox News is running the stories of who's watching, who's not watching. I guess Brett Favre, the former quarterback, is not watching. And Brett Favre says, not familiar with Bad Bunny. That's who's performing at the Super Bowl. So don't know if his music is good or bad. I'm just going to watch what I know. Lee Bryce, Kid Rock, All-American halftime show. Okay. They asked also Logan Paul, who's a big Trumper, and I think Favre's a Trumper also. But they asked Logan Paul, are you excited for the halftime show? And he's like, no. And then it's like a 5-second clip of Logan Paul if you want to see that. Here's the thing. If you tie yourself to Trump and his people, it'll be the detriment to you. And Kid Rock is learning that today, actually. Kid Rock's MAGA Fest canceled after acts pull out. People don't want to work with you anymore. It's been really interesting also that Fox News is even running the story. Usually Fox News would bury this kind of stuff because at one hand, they're promoting Kid Rock's thing. You know, you don't have to watch Super Bowl. And on the other hand, they're actually also showing you that he's getting canceled. Seriously. It says, this is from Fox. Festival fallout days after Shinedown pulled out of the, quote, Rock the Country Festival. Kid Rock led music event canceled its show in South Carolina. Okay, so what does the band say? Shinedown is everyone's band. We feel that we have been given a platform to bring all people together through the power of music and song. We have one boss, and it is everyone in the audience. And this is where we're at right now, right? Trump wants to divide people. And I just can't remember a time that we ever have this conversation of like declaring whether or not we're watching the halftime show. I do remember, though, to be fair, I do remember the most controversial halftime show was the wardrobe malfunction. If anyone's old enough to remember this, you can write in the comments. I believe it was Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, and he grabbed her costume / breast. If you guys remember this thing, it was just stupid. The whole thing was stupid, right? And that was like the biggest controversy, the wardrobe malfunction. And it just sounded really dumb at the time, and it still sounds dumb today. The same way that this conversation about declaring whether or not we're going to watch the Super Bowl halftime show. And for full disclosure, my wife and I, we watch it every year. We catch it on YouTube because they always have some big name and they bring out a bunch of stars and big dancing. And it's a halftime show. Just watch it. So whatever. And you guys can make your decision what you're going to do with that. So we watch it every year. So there's that. Also going on, because someone asked before, Chris, is there ever any good news? Well, one, you could say, yes, Kid Rock is canceled for getting too close to Trump. Two, there was actually a special election and a Democrat won. And this was like a district that Trump won by 13 points. And it swung blue. It says Louisiana Democrat Chastity Verrett Martinez defeated her Republican opponent by double digits in a special election Saturday night for a state house seat in a district Trump won by 13 points in 2024. So certainly it seems like there is a shift. I think there's different groups. You know, and you'll say there's some people who are just like completely fatigued by this whole stuff, which I completely understand. And that's sort of why I try to talk like a normal person about this stuff. And I've also noticed a shift in the Republicans who seem to be talking more like normal people also.
You know, I talk to friends of mine in my party who will say to me all the time, look, he's not a good guy. He's kind of crazy, but I like the issues. Here's the thing. What they're discovering now is character is the most important issue. And what the posting of that video shows is his absolute lack of character. And now what we're seeing is when you don't have character, you can't get the issues done either. Because all these acts of lack of character by Donald Trump are so distracting from issues like the economy, which the people care about, that he's now underwater on the economy. His lack of character allows him to do the things that ICE is doing that is so outraging the country. And now he's 20 points underwater on immigration, which has been a winning issue for Republicans for almost 2 decades. So for all my friends out there who say, yeah, no, I know the character is awful, but I care about the issues. You're not only now supporting someone with no character, but his lack of character leads to us not being able to accomplish the issues that we care about either.
In regards to the character thing, for a long time, Trump has been completely unfit to hold office. Now, we can debate his policies and these kind of things, which are also awful, but that's a different debate. Like, we shouldn't even be having this conversation at all because Trump's just an awful person who puts a bunch of awful people in this cabinet, right? And it's not just awful, like, because theoretically you could have awful and qualified at the same time, right? But Trump's like awful, unqualified, unfit, and the list goes on. Plus his policies are bad. It's like, how are we even having this conversation? And I think these sort of turn of events being what's happening in Minnesota and then that recent meme thing he tweeted out about the Obamas is really making a change. That's why you're seeing this kind of stuff. Here's another Republican talking about, this is a Mike Lohr. Listen what he has to say.
Apologize. Look, I think sometimes in our public discourse, it is best to just say, I'm sorry. I take the White House at their word that this was a mistake. But at the end of the day, given the history of our nation, given the insensitivities with some of the stereotypes that have long been promulgated to attack African Americans, I think it's imperative to recognize that and meet the moment. I think sometimes it's just best to say, I'm sorry, and do better. And I think, given the situation, I'm glad they deleted it. But that type of meme or, implication is wrong. And I think whoever created the original meme is an idiot. And really, that type of content should not exist in our country. I think everybody should recognize the history and really do better.
And it's good to hear Republicans again sound like normal people. There's too much of the, well, I know Trump's a moron, but I'll hold my nose and just support him on no matter what. And it exposes basically how, you could say, spineless a lot of these people are. You could talk about the Elon Musk stuff as well, when Musk will just say like crazy whacked out stuff. Hey, we're gonna have 1 million satellites in space, and all his followers are like, oh yeah, we're all gonna do 1 million satellites. We're all gonna be rich. Wow, it's just, you sound like a moron. And this is sort of where I try to do with you all in the community, is just keep some sanity here, have some honest conversations about all of this stuff, and it's just, it is what it is. And let me show you what Trump's economy looks like.
Well, the Super Bowl brings out a lot of stars. We all know that. And if all the private jets at SFO are any indication, they certainly are here.
And so I just wanted to show you this because effectively what you're seeing, again, it's the K-shaped economy. Some people call it T-shaped. Basically, K-shaped, like think of the letter K, the rich get richer, the poor get poor. T-shaped, you can make the case it's like the rich are always rich and there's nothing left for the poor, like the letter T. But either way, that's what the Trump economy is, right? Only benefits certain kind of people. And then that's why it's so ridiculous for really anyone, I'll just be frank with you guys, like 99.9% of people out there to support anything that Trump and his buddies are up to, because it's all to benefit themselves. Just put money in their pockets. And then you've got stuff like this on top of Trump's, ridiculous economy. Gabbard whistleblower complaint based on foreign call about person close to Trump. And I'll just be frank with you guys. I think all these people are dirty in the Trump cabinet. It's pretty obvious. Whether or not she's taking orders directly from, someone in another country or who's doing contact on this, who knows? They're trying to slow walk the investigation and the whistleblower complaint. But more and more of this stuff is coming out, and it looks really bad, like really bad for them. And not only do you have Gabbard have her controversy or Noam with her controversies, or what, the list goes on, because basically Trump's got a bunch of terrible people. It's obvious, right? Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, to where like every single one of his people is like ludicrous when you watch them on TV, and they have like crazy controversies, and a lot of them are tied to Epstein stuff. It's nuts. Or you have this, their FBI guy, Patel. Trump's FBI director, quote, wanted to go Premier League game instead of meeting MI5. It was like a Five Eyes meeting thing. So basically, he's supposed to do their doing work, and he's more interested in sending his staff asking questions about how he can like go to, football matches or skiing or whatever. It's basically what he was interested in. And then when you have all these corrupt people that are basically, yes men, yes women, then they'll follow Trump's orders, which is ultimately going to hurt the country and themselves in the end and everyone. And they're going to get called out on it. So remember, they sent Gabbard down to Georgia to like go investigate the election office, essentially. The judge then is like, yo, show me why you're down there. What's going on with that? Because a lot of it looked really, really improper, and we're going to get some news on that. And I just want to put this all together with you guys. So then that's why this story becomes important, right? Kid Rock's Mega Fest canceled after acts pull out. And basically, long story short, you tie your name to Trump or any of these kind of people, it's to your own detriment. It's the detriment of the world, the detriment of the country, and is completely unsustainable because the only people that will work with Trump, right, and put their name and the weight behind him are greedy. That's what it is. And when you fill the room with a bunch of greedy people, it'll absolutely collapse like a house of cards, is like what we're seeing now. So midterms are coming, and there's definitely going to be a change happening, and you got to keep telling people what's going on. I do appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.